It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome back in. The 3-hour program in a 2-hour wet paper bag. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and CB. One of our guys is playing a little hurt today, but he showed up, and he is gutting it out. My man, how we doing?
It's my Jordan flu game. I don't have the flu, though. I don't have the flu. I do not have the flu. We did all the testing and everything. I'm good to go on that front. I just got a little head cold, one of those annoying head colds. I did get to the sauna at about 1:30 a.m. today because I was just laying in bed, and I was just like, I feel groggy.
Wait, where do you go? What kind of sauna do you get to at 1:30 in the morning?
At my apartment complex in the gym.
The Turkish baths.
It was amazing, too, by the way. Nobody was in there playing some music. I was just in there kicking it.
Wow.
But yeah, I had to sweat it out. I was in there for about 40 minutes. We're going to do it again after the show today. And you know what? Playing hurt sometimes is just what you got to do. It's just what you got to do, man. So
Matty,
I couldn't miss this time with you guys. Are you kidding me?
Matty, we all play. I play 12 months a year with a viral infection that affects my nose and throat. So, I mean, that's what we do. I'm happy that you're here. You sound good.
Man.
So, you tell that headache who's boss. You tell those mild body aches where they can go. You tell that low-grade fever. We got no invitation for you today.
That's it, man. It's really just kind of like an annoying nose drip. Just a constant nose drip. And then
a post-nasal drip?
Yeah, and there's a little bit of the scratchiness going on. So I apologize if I sound a little weird. You're saying, do I sound
nothing
okay
more
today?
Than normal?
Okay, nothing more than normal. I appreciate that. But we're going to be here to rock and roll, baby. And we also, again, today are handing out a $40 gift card because Ohio Mulch is turning 40, and they're giving away a $40 gift card to Ohio Mulch to celebrate Ohio Mulch free delivery on orders of $299 or more. 20 bags of topsoil for $20, and bulk topsoil is just $19.99 for 1 cubic yard. And CB let me know before I walked in here, we're going to do this right around 2:30. So stick with us.
All right, let me write that down so I can remember. Mulch prize, 2:30. Remember it, note it, learn it, know it, live it. All right, we've got NFL picks, bottom of the hour. All I usually, when this happens, I'm going to follow my own feeling. I apologize and say I'll do better. That's all. It's about owning it. That's fine. I think Vegas, usually they clean up most weeks. I can't imagine what they did last week.
Listen, I got my...
But the good news is you made up some ground on Matty Ice.
I got my teeth kicked in by Vegas last week. Whoa. I mean, it was just...
How many teams, Matty, of how many 6+ point favorites lost outright? It was
wild.
Crazy.
It was absolutely wild. So, we got dunked on. I definitely got dunked on last week by Vegas, but we just got to keep swinging, baby.
That's it.
We got to keep swinging.
Dust yourself off.
Vegas, I got some smoke for you.
That's right.
I was watching, I thought of you last night because I was watching the Vince McMahon documentary that dropped on Netflix, and part of it was Hulk Hogan. He talked about his appearance in Rocky, and I was like,
the ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball.
And I was like, AR, he's
incredible.
He's got to be so disappointed in me that I really haven't carved out time to do that. I was getting after you yesterday for not watching the Batman, and then I was like, you know what? I need to check myself, because when I saw Hulk Hogan in Rocky 3,
it's pretty incredible.
I was like, I see the vision.
Oh no, it was beastly.
Yeah,
and that scene in Rocky 3 was bothersome to me back then. It was a tough watch. I know the acting sometimes can get majorly criticized, in certain movies like these, but that was intimidating. It felt real to me. It certainly felt real to Adrian. And I will say that it was pretty nuts how unhinged that scene was with him, and how they choreographed it. I'm assuming it was incredible.
Oh, it's something that just it's a must for me. It is an absolute must for me to get. There's really no excuse.
When he slams his hands on that mat, on that canvas, man. Where are you?
Yeah.
I was literally scared when I was watching that as a kid.
I'm scared of Vince McMahon after some of the stuff that.
By the way, did I hear that he already kind of put a disclaimer on this whole thing beforehand? Like a lot of it is.
He did throw out at the beginning of the documentary, like, I'm not going to give you everything. I'll paint a bit of a picture. But there are people that, let's say, did the digging, have done some digging on what was really going on, and they're not holding back any punches in this. So this is being produced by Bill Simmons from The Ringer. Bill Simmons used to work at ESPN. So I got through a couple of those last night. I'll try to squeeze in a few more before Thursday Night Football because football is back tonight, baby. It's back. Dallas. There's so much pressure on them tonight.
And it's a divisional game. It's on the road. Yeah. It's a short week. And you have must-win written all over it.
No doubt.
And this is a Giants team that somehow now may smell a little blood in the water in Dallas.
Jaws?
They might smell a little bit of blood.
Okay.
Because Dallas, as we mentioned, I don't know, they have talent. No one is going to deny they have talent. But they're just not a team right now. Defensively, you give up 430 plus 2 weeks in a row, you either have to find the pride or you lean to the other side, that they're just not very good, and that the pressure that Daniel Jones, I mean, he can lean on that run game a little bit. The Cowboys have the worst rushing defense through week 3 in 25 years. It's
that's ridiculous. Isn't it like $180 a game right now they're giving up on the ground?
Awful.
Yeah.
And listen, this is music to your ears because Devin Singletary is averaging 4.7 yards a carry.
Come on, baby.
And he's your guy.
Come on, mover of chains.
No more sliding near the goal line anymore. You take it all the way across.
I thought I was going to be absolutely crushed by that, but you're right. Here at the Mover of Chains headquarters, we need a big Devin Singletary game. I stole the name from Daenerys Targaryen. She was the breaker of chains in Game of Thrones. I am now the mover of chains because we need all the first downs we can get. So hopefully you're right. Devin Singletary can get in his bag for me tonight.
Now, the only other thing I would say, and we'll make our picks at the bottom of the hour, is that over recent history, Dak and the Cowboys have owned the G-Men.
Cooked them.
Owned them and covered. They've owned them against the spread. They've owned them straight up. Yeah. They've owned them on the right, on the left, and right in the middle. This
is a heavy AR Humanalytics game for me tonight. Just with where the Cowboys are. Because you know how I felt going into Dallas last week with my squad? It's the same type of vibe around Dallas this week. You drop this one on a short week with just the world watching, it just crushes all of your emotions as a team. It would have to.
Now, my theory last week worked decently up until Monday night because I was here saying always bet on desperation. Not when you're desperate as the bettor. Hear me correctly. You're betting on desperate teams. I don't think that's the line at the end of the disclaimer. Always bet on desperation. No, not you, the team. And so it worked in a lot of ways last week. And tonight, if you bet on desperation, you're betting on the Cowboys. And I did it, but it didn't work with Cincinnati.
It did not work with Cincinnati.
Work with them.
You're absolutely right about that. So, here we are kicking off another exciting football weekend. Not even just in the NFL. Like, we'll end, Sunday night will be Buffalo and my Ravens. But, going in between that is Saturday. And Saturday night, we get Georgia and Bama. So, this weekend is booming on the schedule.
Penn State, Illinois.
I'm struggling with that.
Same time.
Struggling with that. But, hey, man, good football is going to be all over the place. I'm here for it.
All right. So, Ryan Day was on the program today, or on the coach's show, and I leaned in yesterday. The stuff that hit me yesterday, or during the press conference, was he wants to talk about how special this group can be because they're unselfish. And I'm with him. I said before the season started, and I know they haven't played anybody really, no measuring stick games yet, but the biggest weapon outside of talent, you've heard me say this 100 times already, the biggest weapon outside of talent that Ohio State has is that they are hungry and they have been humbled. Yeah. That is part of the Humanalytics. That's chapter 3 in my book that hasn't been written. And I would say that when you've been humbled and you're hungry, you have a weapon that other teams don't necessarily have. You combine that with talent and you've got it all. But I would say that when he was asked today, he was asked a question, not by Paul or Jim. I think it was a write-in question by a fan about choosing a quarterback and all that, and recruiting quarterbacks and all that. And I absolutely loved what he said. And he said exactly what we've been saying for a while on why he went away from Kyle McCord. He didn't tell us specifically, but he said on the air today, when it's 4th and 2, that guy has to find a way to get the first down. He was talking about a quarterback.
Go get it.
That was it. He said it, and I was sitting here, and I kind of leaned back, and I was like, that's awesome, because that's what he has done with Will Howard. So we talked about work ethic, working through hard times, balancing the praise and criticism you'll get as a quarterback. And I think what he wanted to tell people is that Will Howard has the potential to check every last box that this team needs. Now, he did put in the criticism part, because if he loses a game or doesn't play well, he's going to have to find a way to fight through hard times. But when he was asked what he looks for in a quarterback, when he said, when it's 4th and 2, that guy finds a way to get us a first down, that's the one thing he couldn't tap into with McCord every time. 100%. Even though McCord, give him credit, the moment he had at Notre Dame is something you can never take away from him.
It was. But you want more if you're a coach. Just because that weapon is so deadly when you are a play caller, more importantly, when you are an offensive unit, when you have a quarterback that can do what you just described. I look at this offense right now for Ohio State, and it's like, you know what? They're like Thanos. They're collecting all those infinity stones. They haven't even placed in that last infinity stone that really is going to bring it all together. And that last infinity stone is going to be those Will Howard design runs when they absolutely knew it. He can do it now, just, you know, off the cuff and just random situations. But as far as Chip Kelly calling run plays for him more and more, we haven't necessarily seen that. And that's going to be that last infinity stone. You could do a lot of damage and wreak havoc on a lot of on defenses, as they have already with the weaponry around him. But when Thanos did that in Avengers, that's when everybody had a problem. And I think that's where Ohio State will take their offensive game plan to a whole nother level, is when they do that. And even if they don't do it a bunch, just the threat of it to defenses and defensive coordinators is always going to have them on edge, because Will isn't a guy that's just getting by with his legs. Everything we've heard this offseason is how he took care of his body and became even more of an explosive runner. And it's something you and I identified during his time with Kansas State. You look back at some of the things he did, there's some long runs in there. And so he has that ability there. And with the threat of Travion and Quinshon there, defenses are going to be scared to death of that run game all year long, and they should be.
So what you're saying, Maddie, is with your stones, your infinity stones, and my affinity for the movies, my new weekly credo for Ohio State then would be romancing the stone.
That works for me.
Ohio State football, romancing the stone.
For me. That works for me. Yeah, I need you to get into Marvel, too. Do that for me.
Well, old stuff. I mean, old cartoons, Justice League and all that.
That answer from you is so on brand.
I mean,
old stuff.
I mean, feed me the old stuff all day long.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I think Ohio State, if we do back in the 80s, if we do a little romancing the stone, we'll kind of continue that. Who knows, Maddie? Maybe a T-shirt in the offing. We'll come back and we'll give you the status of Myles Garrett this week and whether he can work through this injury. That's next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan. Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Have we spent enough time telling homeowners how much the name Eco can actually mean?
Well, I did name the company that, so yes.
I mean explaining that Eco can stand for how much better we can make your plumbing, ecologically speaking.
Get Eco.
A tankless water heater, for example. Switching to tankless means your family has unlimited hot water, shower after shower after shower, without having to use precious electricity to keep a big tank of water hot 24 hours a day. It's ecological.
Pretty good wordplay for a guy that almost failed English, don't you think?
Get Eco.
I think if more people knew they could help the planet just by taking a shower, I think we might be onto something.
That's not quite as ecological as the first thing you said, but okay.
You know, I'm working on inventing a new kind of junk mail that throws itself away.
And the planet thanks you. Jerry.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hi, this is Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. As a local family-owned business, we understand the importance of celebrating the ones we love. Stop in to find the perfect gift or check us out online at worthingtonjewelers.com.
Bobby Carpenter here for my good friends at Ohio Mulch. Stop into any of Ohio Mulch's convenient locations for topsoil at $19.99 a cubic yard or get 20 bags for $20 in-store or online at ohiomulch.com. That's ohiomulch.com.
To Central Ohioans, fall means one thing, football. At Sears Heating and Cooling, fall also means one thing, furnaces. We're not plumbers or electricians. Nope. For 74 years, we've been your Central Ohio heating and cooling experts. Need an electrician or plumber? We'll gladly give you a referral, but we won't pretend to be your one-stop shop for all the trades. We're HVAC experts, and our mission is to provide the highest quality service at the best possible price. That's the local advantage of doing business with your neighbors at Sears Heating and Cooling. Online at SearsHeatingCooling.com.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
With fall savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,600 off select appliances from top brands like Samsung, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction. Wash and dry in one cycle with the Samsung Ultra Capacity All-in-One Washer-Dryer Combo from the Home Depot. And get laundry day done faster, running a super speed load in just 98 minutes. Right now, shop fall savings for up to $1,600 off select appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing about September 26th through October 16th. U.S. only. See store online for details. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Scott from the Cleveland area has coached girls basketball and supported his granddaughter's athletic pursuits.
My granddaughters have worked hard to excel in sports. It's tough enough. So the idea that Sherrod Brown voted to allow transgender biological men to compete in girls' sports, it's unfair and dangerous. And introducing a bill to allow biological men in girls' locker rooms? Biological men to shower in my granddaughter's locker room? No way. I worry about the safety of my family constantly. Now I have to worry about Sherrod Brown's crazy liberal ideas. I thought Sherrod Brown was on my side, but he's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown has let Ohio down. Now he's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy and dry today with a high of 78. Rain and wind on your Friday with a high of 79. Winds could gust upwards of 35 miles per hour tomorrow. Scattered showers on Saturday with a high of 79. Mostly cloudy on Sunday with a high of 80. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
This is Rothman and Ice, the #1 rated midday show in Columbus.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome back in. We'll give you a Myles Garrett injury update here in moments. His words, not mine. But my words are telling you that fall is here. Perfect time to remodel your bathroom before the holidays, and those will be coming fast and furious. So as the weather cools down, we spend more time indoors. Wouldn't it be awesome to have a refreshed, modern bathroom that's not only stylish but functional, whether you're getting ready to host family and friends or you simply want a more luxurious space to enjoy during the colder months? This is the ideal season to make your bathroom the ultimate sanctuary, and my friends at The Bath Authority can make that happen. They can make it happen quickly, affordably. Right now, you can get free installation. That's right, free installation on your new bath or shower, and they'll also give you 36 months of 0% interest financing. That's 3 years of no interest payments, making it easier than ever to get the bathroom you've always wanted. So take advantage of this awesome deal. Get the free home estimate, get the free installation, and get it now at thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits. All right, Myles Garrett is working through an injury right now, and he spoke. CB, were you able to spin that around for me? Okay, cool. So let's hear it from him on whether he feels he can work through this.
I got the right people around me, the right training staff here to make sure that everything is pretty stable for the rest of the season. So not too bad.
All right, that was tough to kind of make out, but I guess he didn't practice yesterday because of he's got a lot of stuff going, Matty.
Yeah,
He's got a foot, he's got an Achilles, he's got thigh injuries. Did that sound like, CB, there's a longer version of that. You can listen to it on your own, and maybe, because I feel like he is going to try to get through this, but I want to make sure I heard that correctly, because if he's dealing with all of that and he's not practicing, and it's Achilles and a thigh, and Stefanski's saying he's determined to play through them, they're not ruling him out, I guess, is my point right now.
Yeah, and we know how these guys are wired. More times than not, they're going to gut it out until they absolutely can't gut it out anymore. So it sounds pretty scary to me. If I were a Browns fan, I would be very worried about this, because now we've gone from the foot to, as you mentioned, thigh and Achilles stuff. And for the position that he plays, needing his lower extremities to be explosive and get off the ball and get to the quarterback in the blink of an eye, which we know he can do almost better than anybody in the league, he's got to be hampered by this. I mean, that's an obvious statement, but the fear now for me would be just the long-term injury that could pop up on any given moment. Like, if you're Kevin Stefanski and Jim Schwartz, you're holding your breath every single play that this guy can get through not only the game, but a series and down to down. What is he going to look like? So this is just a massive concern right now for the Cleveland Browns. And why it's really alarming is because on the offensive side of the ball, you're not getting much support. And so for a defense that we looked at coming into the year as what should be one of the best and led by the reigning defensive player of the year, Myles, now, if you're talking about a Myles Garrett that's going to be, 75, 80%, whatever that's going to look like, this now flips even more attention back to their quarterback in Deshaun Watson, who is playing some bad football right now.
Yeah. You don't want Myles Garrett going for a medical reference from CMC. Like, when you get back from Germany, let me know what they told you. Jack Conklin, hammy. Jedrick Wills, knee. Jerome Ford, knee. Jordan Hicks, ribs, elbow. David Njoku, ankle. Running back Pierre Strong, hammy. All out.
Brutal.
Not out for the game, but they sat out. CB, is there anything with any more clarity on that? You don't have to play it, but just let me know.
No, I mean, I think we can just play the Stefanski cut. That's about the best we're going to get.
All right, let's get it from him.
I feel like Myles is determined to continue to play. He's working through injuries like a lot of guys, and he's played through injury in his past. But, of course, you'd always make smart decisions with your players.
All right, so it's the old line. And here's the follow-up. He said injury, so I'm not going to question that. But the old fine line between pain and injury. How much of this is pain and how much is this injury? Because you and I always wake up when we see that word Achilles, I cringe. And so if it's thigh, if it's foot, that goes to pain. The other follow-up would be, would any of this require surgery? Would surgery help his foot? Would it not? Are we not even close to that? So this guy uses all of his lower body. His strength is ridiculous, off the chart. If the coach is saying he's determined to play through it, then that sounds positive. That sounds more pain than injury to me.
Like, positive for me is a little heavy, AR, just because I don't expect anything else from these guys.
You think he's just spinning it positive?
No. I think I don't think he's spinning it positive. I just don't think the situation as a whole is positive right now. I think this is just a football player gutting it out the way we've seen guys do this for decades and decades. And so now this just requires other guys to step their game up, right? And you look at a guy like Zadarius Smith, opposite of Myles Garrett, he's going to have to garner more attention from offenses and offensive lines and really create more static down there in the trenches if Myles isn't going to be as high-end as we know he can be moving forward. But at the end of the day, AR, this is about Deshaun Watson. Like, that's this ceiling for the Browns has really been lowered because of Deshaun Watson and where he is right now. And when you look at what he's done over the first 3 games of the season, it's bottom of the barrel stuff at the quarterback position. And so that can really alleviate some of these issues that maybe this Browns defense may have in the future, is if they get competent quarterback play. That's it. Competent quarterback play, and not a guy that is searching for answers and on the fly making mistakes that average quarterbacks should not make, or guys at this point in his career should not make. And so this season was always going to be about what they got from number 4. And now that's ramped up even more because of all the injuries that you talked about. And now the best player on the team in Myles Garrett is dealing with a bunch of stuff to his body.
This is the perfect nightmare. It's the perfect storm for Browns fan. You had no Nick Chubb to lean on early. Your offensive line is decimated. And you have a quarterback that's 50% of what he was in his brain and maybe even physically, just in how he sees the field and how he reacts. That 4th and 1 play was a joke. Don't sell me on any of that. He locked in on a guy, he telegraphed it, and it wasn't there, or he locked in on a guy, and he realized that my first read wasn't there, and now I've panicked, and now I've got to try to get a first down with my feet that I can't. There was a guy wide open. He's selling this decoy joke. No, it's 4th and 1. This isn't 1st and 10. It's 4th and 1. Your guy's open. You see him, hit him. The decoy becomes the target. And that
would piss me off if I'm Kevin Stefanski, if I heard my quarterback say that, because I'm the one that drew that up, and it was executed to perfection, and the quarterback didn't pull the trigger.
Even if he was the second look, who cares? He becomes the first look on a 4th and 1 in urgency time, which tells you that Deshaun Watson is not locked in. He was locked in a bad way on the wrong receiver. When they get up to the line of scrimmage. So
he's just not a threat right now with his arm. He's not a threat right now with his arm.
Even though I love the first play from scrimmage, he hits Amari. That's a big time throw.
It's just not consistent. Yeah. It's just not consistent from him. The dude's averaging 4.8 a pass. That's second worst in the entire league. The only guy that was worse is the quarterback that got benched in Carolina and Bryce Young. So defenses right now are coming into the game and saying, Deshaun's got to show us that he can beat us with his arm consistently. And right now, he hasn't shown anybody. And it's not even just this year. It's his entire tenure in Cleveland so far. The dude has just not been good enough week to week. And it's sad because of all the money that they paid him and all the money that they would still owe him if they decided to go down the dead cap road. Be $127 million if they did it after this season. If they did it after next year, it'd be $99 million. So this whole situation is just a mess.
Well, the only good news is they may not have to score a ton of points to beat the Raiders, and they got that going for them. We'll see. We'll come back with NFL picks against the spread next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Welcome to the greatest show on turf at Great Lakes Kia. I'm pretty sure that's just tile. And you can feel the excitement in the air. Brand new Kias under $5 a day.
I'm Bart Zimmerman, General Manager at Great Lakes Kia.
Bart's coming up big. Lease new 24 Kia Forte LXS, EV Wind, and Sorrento LX.
Under $5 a day. $5.
Oh, and the fan favorite, new 24 Kia Telluride LX, under $8 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
Even new 24 Kia Carnival LXS, under $9 a day.
There's a flag on the play. It looks like credit interference.
No problem. Get approved with 1.9% financing.
Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus,
GreatLakesKia.com.
Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
With so much happening every day,
ABC6 News is on your side, helping you understand the events that impact your community.
Do you believe Columbus City Schools is in a PR crisis?
Central Ohio's most experienced team of reporters, persistent in getting answers to the questions you're asking.
Are you worried about how people are going to react?
And when you need us, ABC6 News is on your side, finding solutions.
6 on your side, they're the ones willing to answer the phone.
You can count on ABC6 News to be on your side.
ABC Tonight is a night of major drama.
911, what's your emergency?
First, the 911 premiere event begins. Be NATO.
That truck was hauling 22 million killer bees.
Oh my God.
Then it's Dr. Odyssey, the splashy new drama set on a luxury cruise ship.
It's your job to keep everyone alive.
She's in VFib. You're going to be okay.
911 season premiere and Dr. Odyssey series premiere, followed by Grey's Anatomy.
Tonight, starting at 8 on ABC6.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Script Ohio necklaces, Blocko earrings, Ohio State bangles, and more. You'll find an exclusive collection of luxury Buckeye jewelry you'll love at the Diamond Cellar, starting at $99. Show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play, like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when tinted to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Color Collection.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice, NFL Picks.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
All right, CB, don't tell us.
Well, I have to. Like you mentioned earlier, it was not a great week. AR, you went 5-11. Matty Ice, you went 3-13. So, AR, you did make up some ground. 2 games on them. The overalls, AR is 20-26. Ice is 21-25.
It's kind of the two of us against you in a way. So you're right. While I made up ground, we look at this as a tandem jump. But yes.
You know that moment right there when he was about to announce my record from last week? That was like some bad PTSD for me. It's like, CB, when I was riding home on the bus with a bad report card, and I knew that walk home was going to go by super fast. And when I walked through the door, I had to answer to Mama Hayes with a bad report card.
Had to get the parent signature on it?
Yeah. That was the vibes I just got right there. That was a scary moment for me, but I'm here this week. And AR and I are coming to dunk on you, CB.
All right, let's see. We'll start off with the Thursday night game. It is in New York. The Cowboys are a 6-point favorite against the Giants.
What are we doing here?
This is a really tough one. Like I said, I think the Giants feel they can play with them. The Cowboys have been bad. I think they've been real bad, so it's not like meaning real bad, not fake bad. They have been real bad. So my initial instincts on this was to take the points, take the 6 with the home dog in a rivalry game. I do know that, it goes against my theory of betting on desperation. The Cowboys are 1-2, can't afford to lose this one. They can win it and not cover. That would be legal. And so I'm going to just stick with my first instincts. I'm going to take the G-men and the 6.
Okay.
Hope they keep it close.
I hate the vibes coming out of Dallas. You had Dak walking into the locker room last week, begging people to jump off the bandwagon. Micah Parsons talking about I shouldn't have to beg grown men to lock in. It's just like, what is happening down there? But I'm going to do it. It's probably foolish, but I'm going to lay the 6 and roll with the Dallas Cowboys.
To the 1 o'clock schedule on Sunday, the Falcons, a 2.5-point home favor over the Saints.
Did the real Derek Carr stand up last week? Some people were saying they knew Derek Carr was going to turn into a pumpkin. I'm not one of those people. I still think they're going to be a really good team. They blew out the Cowboys the week before, came back to earth last week at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. NFC South battle here. I'm going with the Falcons. I'm laying the 2.5.
They played with KC, and you can make the case they should have beaten them. I do like buying on the dip with the Saints because I think this did dip a little bit. They've got a good pass rush. They got a good run defense. Falcons have been bad in third down conversion. I'm going to ride with New Orleans on buying on the dip. Give me the 2.5.
The Bears are a 3-point home favor over the Rams.
Boy, I don't know. The Rams did a lot last week, and I don't know if it should move the line that much. Can they do it again with this injured team? They should have never won that game against San Fran. They're getting 3 on the road, but the Bears haven't been that good. This is too tough to call, so that being said, I have to take the points, even though I think the Rams are going to have a very difficult time against that Bears defense, but I'll take the points on the road.
Sean McVay's a heck of an offensive mind. He finds a way. They have obviously the better quarterback in this game, but I am going to rely on what you said. In the salty Bears defense, I kind of like what they've got going on that side of the ball at the crib. The Rams are going to get fat on deep dish the night before, so they're going to come into this one sluggish. I'm laying the 3. Give me the Bears.
The Packers are a 2.5-point home favorite over the Vikings.
We don't know what's up with Jordan Love yet. That's hovering over this situation. Regardless, I think if he comes in, he may be a little rusty. And I think Brian Flores has shown that he's not playing with any of these quarterbacks. Minnesota Vikings lead the league in sacks, ladies and gentlemen. Give me the 2.5. I'm rolling with the Vikings.
So you know what's going to happen here. I mean, they're undefeated because I've mental hedged this thing every week. If I pick the Vikings, they're losing this game.
Come on, roll with me, baby.
So it's not happening. Give me the Packers. I'm laying the 2.5. I don't care whether it's Willis or Love. It's at Lambeau. Aaron Jones does say if he scores, he will do the Lambeau leap, which would be amazing. And shout out to my boy Tommy Kramer, who's battling health issues. So give me the Packers minus the 2.5.
The Steelers are a 1.5-point road favor over the Colts.
I like the fact that the Colts were almost 6 yards of play against that Bears defense. Pittsburgh going back on the road. That defense against Anthony Richardson should be good. Boy, this is a tough call. Give me Pittsburgh with that defense. And they just believe right now. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
Yeah, TJ Watt's going to have Anthony Richardson seeing ghosts. They just have to make sure they contain him, don't allow him to get outside and get busy with his legs. But TJ Watt is the best defensive player on planet Earth right now, in my opinion. I'm going to rely on him and what they have going on that side of the ball. And Justin Fields progressing week to week, laying the 1.5.
The Jets are a 7.5-point home favorite over the Broncos.
I'm not taking the bait. I'm not taking the bait from what I saw from Bo Nix and the Broncos. Nice win last week. This is a pretty big number, but Aaron Rodgers, he got busy last time we saw him. So I think that continues. I'm laying the 7.5.
Yeah, Jets have a better secondary than the Buccaneers. They're not really that good against the run, but the Broncos can't run it anyway. I'm not taking Bo Nix over Aaron Rodgers. The hook is the problem here at 7.5, but I'll lay it with you.
And real quick, Broncos just lost their leading tackler for the season, so they should be okay.
The Eagles are a 2-point road favorite over the Buccaneers.
Boy, it's weird how the weeks change. Philly rescues their game last week against the Saints. Tampa looks horrible. I got to feel like Baker will be a little better in this game. And by the way, I think Philly's just so injured right now. No Devontae, no AJ.
I'm doing it with you. Let's go Tampa.
I'm taking Tampa.
Yeah, I'm in. Yep.
The Bengals are a 4-point road favorite over the Panthers.
Does Andy have it in him? Andy, what do you got? I'm not taking the bait on this either. Bengals are going to be locked in for this one. T. Higgins knocked some rust off. Jamar went absolutely off. The defense is a problem. So I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm going to lay the 4 and roll with Houday.
I am too, because I lost on the desperation, so I'm doubling down on desperation. This is it. The whole thing implodes if they don't win Sunday. They got to win by more than 4, though.
The Texans are a 6-point home favorite over Jacksonville.
Both teams humbled last week, Houston especially, but I'm going to buy into the fact that the Jags don't have enough mental makeup to get back in this thing, so I'm going to take Houston.
The Jags just stink right now. Yeah. CB let us know yesterday Trevor Lawrence has lost his last 8 games in a row. I'm laying the 6. Give me H-Town.
The Cardinals are a 3.5-point home favorite over the Commanders.
I think this one's going to be a shootout. Jaden looks so good on Monday Night Football. But I'm going to lay the 3.5 and roll with Kyler and Marv.
It's that really good offense of Arizona versus that bad Washington defense. Can Jaden hang in there? Made a couple really good throws there. It seems counterintuitive because of how well they played against Cincinnati, but I'm going to take Arizona at home, their offensive ability.
The 49ers are a 10-point home favorite over the Patriots.
Horrible loss. They know it. They've got to make amends on that. The defense from New England is good. I hate laying this amount of points in the NFL. So I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm doing it too. They're super banged up, but New England's just not a good football team. I'm laying the 10.
The Raiders are a 2-point home favorite over the Browns.
Oh, boy.
Tough one.
This one's very tough. Browns' offensive line is a mess. 2 points, though. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm going to take the 2 and roll with your Browns.
Boy, I was kind of waiting to see what you would do. I'm with you. I think that the Browns have one of the worst. Boy, they're just not. They can't be trusted. Not that Cleveland can either, but it's a pick'em game almost. I'll take the Browns. You're giving me the Browns and points. I'll take it.
All right, the Chiefs are a 7.5-point road favorite over the Chargers.
Herbert's been limited. I assume he's going to play. It's a big number on a rivalry game on the road, and the Chiefs just seem to be making their big breaks at the end of these games. When will that run out? But with the Herbert question, I've got to go Chiefs.
Yeah, no Joe Alt either up front. Derwin James out on the back end for the Chargers defense. I'm going to go with Kansas City.
Sunday Night Football, the Ravens, a 2.5-point home favorite over the Bills.
This is wild. You know what? I played the mental hedge card last week. It worked out. I'm going to do it again. Give me the 2.5. I'm rolling with Josh Allen.
Sacrifice the cash for the win. Bills can be run upon. Baltimore found a little something here. I'm glad Dallas came back on them because it has their attention. I'm going to take the Ravens.
All right, Matty Ice's favorite, the doubleheader on Monday night. The first game at 7:30. The Dolphins, a 1-point home favorite over the Titans.
I just can't. I can't roll with Snoop Huntley. I'm sorry. Skylar Thompson, even if he plays, I can't do that either. Will Levis is a turnover machine. The Mayo Man is a mess, but I'm going to roll with the Titans. It's essentially a pick.
This is one of the worst quarterback games we'll ever see. We'll ever have to call. You can't say anything more about it, but I'm going to find a way that my non-shower boy is going to get it done. So give me Miami.
And AR's Lions, they're a 3.5-point home favorite over the Seahawks.
The Seattle Seahawks, I like them, but the injuries are starting to pop up everywhere now. They've got a good D-line, but Detroit's O-line is better. I'm taking the Lions.
I'm with them.
All right. There you go. We got it now. We're back. We'll come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. Ryan Day explains the kicking situation. Next, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Fall is here. It's still warm and dry and everything's brown. But yay, fall. Maybe after your summer road trips, you've realized your vehicle sucks. My friends at Jermaine Lexus want to help. Right now, they have special APRs as low as 2.99% on their most popular models like the ES and RX, or lease payments starting as low as $4.99 a month. My friends at Jermaine are the best in the business. If you're in the market, please stop in. 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
With fall savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,600 off select appliances from top brands like Samsung, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction. Wash and dry in one cycle with the Samsung Ultra Capacity All-in-One Washer-Dryer Combo from the Home Depot. And get laundry day done faster, running a super speed load in just 98 minutes. Right now, shop fall savings for up to $1,600 off select appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing about September 26th through October 16th. U.S. only. See store online for details. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Bobby Carpenter here for my good friends at Ohio Mulch. Ready to give your landscaping a boost? Right now, get topsoil for $19.99 a cubic yard or grab 20 bags for $20. From rich, natural mulches to nutrient-packed soils, stop into any of Ohio Mulch's convenient locations and see what all the excitement is about. Visit in-store or online at ohiomulch.com.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, greener, better.
The Buckeye Show.
Jim Lachey back in the day just pointing.
We going right here, and it's not a dang thing you can do about it.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
After 31 years in Washington, just how much has Sherrod Brown changed? When he first wanted our vote, he said this.
My allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
To Ohio? Sherrod Brown voted for amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. And he voted to give them taxpayer-funded benefits, like free health care to illegals who get amnesty, Social Security checks, COVID relief checks, all to be paid for by you. And Sherrod Brown's open border policies have led to more fentanyl, dangerous gangs, even terrorists pouring into our country. So when Sherrod Brown says this,
my allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
Don't listen to what Sherrod Brown says. Watch what he does. Because Sherrod Brown doesn't vote for Ohio anymore. He's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
Something amazing is happening in business. More companies are turning to Mac. From finance to fulfillment, CDW will seamlessly support Mac integration into your organization. With the power of Apple Silicon, best-in-class security, and compatibility across your favorite apps, your team will have the performance they need and the tools they love. Make amazing happen. Mac and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/Apple.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another furnace breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day furnace installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. Ryan Day It's been bothering him, this kicking game. You're not starting teams at the 35-yard line and all that. He knows that can happen. Everyone's scratching their head over it, and then they drop maybe he's got a little tweak, or there was an injury or something that affected him kicking off. But let's hear from Ryan Day first on what the kicking situation looks like from his eyes.
We feel like Austin can do the kickoffs. I think Austin can do the kickoffs. Whether Jaden can or not, we'll kind of see how he does towards the end of the week. I feel like Jaden certainly can do the field goals and extra points. So we'll plan on him doing that, and as we get closer, we'll decide on the kickoffs.
There you go. It's up for grabs now. They're not obviously benching him. He's still getting the important part of field goals and extra points. But if the other guy is suited better for this, then that's what they should do.
Absolutely. That's the responsibility of Coach Day, right, is to roll out the best product that he can, and it's such an integral part of what you need to have as a football team, is have that consistency and have the ability to, maybe pin a, return team on the left side or the right side or whatever it may be. You got to have all those boxes checked, because there's going to be a game that pops up to where you need your kicker or your kick return team or your kickoff team to make an impactful play. So you said it right, I think, off the top. This has to be a little annoying for Coach Day dealing with this. And if it's caused by an injury, there's only so much you can do there.
Then how can he kick field goals?
Well,
I guess you don't have to kick him with the same
type of oomph.
Gusto.
Yeah, on that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's a fair question to ask. So you just hope that this doesn't become a thing, because it can really become an issue for a football team when you're handing another team good field position time and time again.
No, he knows it. Like you said, it's not anything he wants to add. It's not anything that was on his radar. It's not anything a coach thinks about. One time, okay, you hooked it. Correct it.
3
in a row?
Not it.
Okay, now something's up, or it's... Worst part is if it was something mental, and then you get into a big game, and then you got to straighten it out. And I say this tongue-in-cheek, but kickers are like putters. When they don't work, you get a new one. And
into the pond.
Yeah. And so
you ever throw your putter a club in the pond?
No, I don't think I've ever snapped a club. I may have gently tossed it towards something, not an inanimate object.
It can't be that easy to snap a golf club. I wouldn't. Well, it depends on
a driver.
Closer to the head of the...
No, a driver, because you're talking about a something fiberglass. You're not talking about an iron, steel.
Yeah, like the steel
part of graphite, you could probably do it.
What's easy? Do you think you would have a better chance of breaking a bat over your thigh right now, or a graphite?
A golf club, for sure.
You think?
Yeah, it's kind of whippy, fishing rod-like, although it may have more give. I would never even try it with a bat. The only reason I think these guys do it is although Bo Jackson probably did it when his bat wasn't even splintered. Most of these guys, when they splinter the bat but they don't break it, then they're allowed to do it. It's almost like a loophole.
That has to be one of the most embarrassing things in sports, is when a baseball player is so ticked off that he tries to snap his bat over his leg and it doesn't break.
That's what I mean. You have to make sure that thing has a pretty good head start.
You're right, because if you don't, that's SportsCenter not top 10 vibes right there.
The guy who will be making a lot of top 10s is Jeremiah Smith. And if you go through his quick little game log right now, he's averaging 20 yards a catch.
That'll work.
He's got 4 touchdowns. And Feed Me Seymour. Now, the feeding has gone down 6.53 as far as the games go. But when they need him, they've got him. And here's Jeremiah Smith talking about the page he's on with Will Howard.
He tells me a lot each and every day that if you single covered one-on-one, I'm going to you, don't matter who on you, don't matter. I'm just throwing it up. I just got to make a play. That's all.
I think that's great to hear. I don't know if that's something the coach would want to hear. That Will Howard's told me that if I'm one-on-one, I'm throwing it up. I don't know if that's every time. Maybe it is. I could be wrong. But if I know you're covered, but I know you can try to make the play, it may be situational, like if they're up a lot of points. But I'm wondering if you would go to him no matter what.
I mean, I think there's, a little tongue-in-cheek in there for sure. But I do believe when you have elite playmakers that sometimes, even if they're covered, they ain't covered. And Jeremiah Smith may be one of those guys to where he is that special. And you had mentioned, 20 yards a catch or north of 20 yards a catch right now. he's just so explosive with what he can do after the catch, and that's such a valuable weapon for a quarterback to have. I think we played a clip yesterday from Will where he was talking about how great it is to have guys that can do that. And as far as, maybe the receptions taking a little bit of a hit week by week, I don't think that should surprise many people because of all the weaponry around him right now. And Emeka has really gained his momentum, and he's coming off a very good game. And also, you may be looking at a situation this year to where some of the games you go into as a wide receiver, your at-bats are going to be limited just because of how good the run game can be, right? And when you got Quinshawn and Travion taking it to the crib 50, 60, 80 yards, there's only so much you can do. But we know how dangerous the guy is and will be in the future, and there's no doubt more impressive games to come for Jeremiah Smith, and won't be surprised if that's in the coming weeks when we get to some of these competitive games.
Yeah, no, the only reason I bring it up is because the pick he had last week, he was covered. He was walled off, and he threw it anyway, and the guy had him covered, and the ball landed right in the defender's lap. Travion Henderson, it's got to be nice to be getting touchdowns but keeping your carries down a little bit. That's going to keep him fresh. So he's gone 8 carries, 10 carries, 6 carries, but he scored 4 times, and he has scored 4 times in the last 2 games. Here's Trey talking about splitting the carries with Q.
It has helped me in so many ways. And it's a long season for real. And so the biggest thing is just helping, with the wear and tear and just building off each other momentum too. And so it's helped in so many ways.
And not only that for the here and now, but for Travion, the NFL knows how good he is. He doesn't have to do that much proving as far as an individual talent. I'm sure there's things they want to see him fine-tune, but with what he is as a ball carrier, the NFL knows that, so he'll have his opportunities come draft season. And if they can continue to even out these carries and have these guys feeling good along the way, that's going to show itself as a very positive thing when we get to the CFP.
All right, that's your Buckeye Bulletin for today. So there's a new phrase in college football, and it's being thrown around as opt-out week. And NIL, we know how threatening this can be. Good, bad, ugly, it's got it all. And a legendary player has talked about maybe another level of the threat. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Scott from the Cleveland area has coached girls basketball and supported his granddaughter's athletic pursuits.
My granddaughters have worked hard to excel in sports. It's tough enough. So the idea that Sherrod Brown voted to allow transgender biological men to compete in girls' sports, it's unfair and dangerous. And introducing a bill to allow biological men in girls' locker rooms? Biological men to shower in my granddaughter's locker room? No way. I worry about the safety of my family constantly. Now I have to worry about Sherrod Brown's crazy liberal ideas. I thought Sherrod Brown was on my side, but he's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown has let Ohio down. Now he's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Hey, Buckeye fans! As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready for the best car buying experience? Visit KruegerFord.com today. Explore our amazing selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Service and parts available when you need us. Come experience the Krieger commitment. The best cars, the best people, peace of mind. Visit KruegerFord.com today.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
Get Nature Stone and never replace your flooring again. Nature Stone is a beautiful permanent flooring solution for garages, basements, and indoor spaces. Act now to get pricing as low as 99 cents a square foot plus installation. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Cole Bartimas. Both Ohio baseball teams are off today, but they will both begin their final series of the regular season tomorrow. The Guardians will host the Astros for 3, and then they'll shift their focus to playoff baseball, which will begin for them on Saturday, October 5th. And the Reds will head out to the north side tomorrow to finish it out against the Cubs. Also in baseball, today is the final game for the Athletics in Oakland. Today's game in the Coliseum has been sold out for a month and a half. The A's will be spending the next 3 seasons in Sacramento, awaiting a move to Las Vegas. In football, we have a divisional matchup in the NFL tonight. Both the Cowboys and the Giants are 1-2 as Dallas heads to the Meadowlands. And friendly reminder, if you missed the news a couple days ago, that 7 o'clock kick for Ohio State and Michigan State got moved to 7:30. Of course, that game can be heard right here on The Fan, and our pregame coverage will begin at 1:30 in the afternoon. This update is brought to you by Nature Stone. Schedule your free cost estimate at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, final hour of the program. Gold Jacket Thursday coming your way at 2:33. Famous former Kansas City Chief Emmitt Thomas, one of the great lockdown or cornerbacks. I don't think they didn't call him lockdown back then, but he would have been. And we'll have him on at 2:33. He's up in Canton this weekend serving his residency back in football heaven. When we talked about NAL, Maddie, it was uncharted waters for everybody. And one of the things I always pointed to was, is it worth the risk? Will you have opt-outs? Will you have opt-outs in big games? Will you have opt-outs in playoff games if they're not a high-seeded team, if you don't think your team has a chance to win at all? And I'm not saying this guy does. And as far as this kid from UNLV and his story, it could be very simply as that everyone is telling the truth. And what I mean by that is that even if it is allegedly an assistant coach that said, we can get you this amount of money. Now, the only maybe deception there would be is that maybe he didn't have a real idea that he could. But if an assistant promised this kid money, remember, you're not transferring from where was ECB, Holy Cross, or you're not doing this. I said that to Bobby yesterday. You're not going to UNLV for nothing. You're not traveling from Holy Cross to UNLV unless they're selling you on Mountain West, like, okay, you can level up your game.
It is Las Vegas.
Well, yeah, and that's true. But for a guy who's on the last run of his football career in college, and he knows he's in an NIL era, I can't imagine he's just doing it for the love of the game or the love of Vegas. But my point in all this is I think they could all be somewhat telling the truth. That Sluka's truth is they didn't promise what they delivered. UNLV's could be telling the truth in that we gave them everything that we told them we could get on paper. And now the kid is like, wait a minute, I was promised this. And maybe the assistant coach was promised by the collective. Yep, we got $100,000 earmarked for him. And then maybe you could blame the collective. I don't know. I mean, this is the only thing I would say is if Sluka got this promise, Now, you can't get the money up front, I don't think, but maybe you can because I don't know what his deal was. I don't know if he had to do something with this money or appearances or endorsements. I don't think this was a briefcase full of bills. I don't think it was that.
Like the Breaking Bad Bill Burr scene, just a garage full of money when you get to your dorm.
The storage closet.
Just lay on
Here's a key to a storage locker. It's off campus.
Oh, man. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that he's going to sit the remainder of the season because he's lying? I don't think so. I think his truth is different from UNLV's truth.
So we had that situation. And then when we left, USC got involved in this realm of opting out stuff, but
another red shirt
in a different way because Bear Alexander, who was a big-time get for USC, at least on paper.
5-star recruit, right?
Former big-time recruit for sure, right? Came up from Georgia. We know, Lincoln Riley's been trying to fine-tune this defense, new defensive coordinator, D'Antlin, and all that stuff. So Bear Alexander, when we got done with the show yesterday, announced that he plans to redshirt because he's unhappy with his playing time.
Which isn't uncommon.
And so this is what we have to look at now moving forward as college football fans, is this window in time to where we get to week 4, week 5 of the college football season, and whether it's guys that are unhappy with their financial situation or guys like in Bear Alexander that are unhappy with his playing time, that they're going to say, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to look ahead to my future, reserve another year or two, whatever it may be, and I'm just going to take care of myself personally. So it does sound like for Bear Alexander, he's going to continue to be around the team and practice, which to me is just an odd dynamic. And if you're a head coach, it's kind of like, do you really want that if you're Lincoln Riley? Like this kid that is bailing on you, but he's still saying, I'm going to show up to practice, but on Saturdays, I'm just going to be in a tracksuit in my Cartier frames on the sideline. Like that to me is strange. And so these decisions, I think, are going to be eye-opening for some people, and I understand it. But I think we just all got to wrap our hands and arms and brains around this thing because it's just a new era of football with just so many moving parts.
I think you said it really well at the end there because that's the toughest part of all of it. Because anybody listening, we're all looking at it from the outside looking in. We're looking at it from different ways. Would you do this? It's very easy to sit there and say, I'm not quitting on my team. I'm not quitting on myself. I play sports. I'm a competitor. I'm going to play football and get my education, hang out with my teammates, be with the co-eds and all, and just be there. Be a college kid.
Co-eds, okay.
Yeah. Be a college kid.
That's a part of the experience.
And so I sit here and say that knowing full well that I also don't want a kid wasting a season of eligibility riding the bench if he feels that that's the writings on the wall. If you came to the fan, if they hired you and said, hey, you're going to be a fill-in host. We don't have a specific show for you right now, but you're going to fill in. There are 3 things that always happen. Guys get sick, guys go on vacation, and people leave. Those 3 things will always happen.
Yep.
And guess what happens when that happens? You're going to be the guy.
I'm up, baby.
You're up. And let's say you worked here for 6 months and you saw people taking vacation, getting sick, maybe leaving for other work. Yeah. You're like, and you saw other guys hosting in front of you. You would go in and say, you're not delivering on your promise. Well, things change. This guy's been doing this. We want to give him a shot here. And you're like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I was promised this. Well, do you have it in writing? No, but you looked me in my eyes and told me.
That's on me then.
And that's it. And that's why I feel like it's a shame. Things change. This world isn't fair. What happened to Sluka in the UNLV situation is weird because this guy had to quit as a quarterback. And I know I may be making a bigger deal out of that than most, but I feel like the quarterback position is different than most. And you are looked at as being a leader. You're 3-0. You've won some games. You're a dual threat, but this is the only leverage these kids have now. This goes back to, well, nothing stops a coach from leaving. So why are we stopping the players? I don't like all of it because I'm maybe old school in that way, but I understand it now.
And it's rare, though, too, right? It would be very rare. And I don't know if I'm forgetting someone that, as a head coach, bailed in the middle of a season. To your point,
but during a potential indiscriminate bowl game that's coming up, I got to get recruiting to my other school.
That to me, I don't like. I would hate if a coach did that Like I'm out. Just after 4 or 5 games.
And the counter to that is, well, coaches can get fired. They can get fired sometimes, not during season in college football unless it's a scandal. But all of this is that NIL and these disputes are probably not new. We just haven't heard of that many guys saying, I didn't get what I was promised and I'm quitting.
The bottom line
absolutely quitting.
The bottom line is just this is a miss on someone's part when it comes to where is this in writing? This is so the picture for this becomes so much more of a clear deal if the former quarterback now for UNLV had what he needed in writing to say on
from
this
the collective, you mean?
From the collective.
Because I don't think the school can.
Anybody from that side of things, I think, would give you more grounds to stand on if you're him than you kind of just now throwing this out and expecting people to just take you for your word. And like we've been saying, he may be correct in this, but you need the receipts, man, to back you up.
Bailing because of an NIL dispute, like I said, is probably not new. Whether this gets to where a guy is leveraging in a playoff run, then you've got something. We had Orlando Pace, legendary Buckeye, covered him back in the 90s. I flew to cover his Heisman run in New York. Spent a lot of time with this guy. And I swear to you, if he was an overall number 1 and the Buckeyes were like an 8 or a 9 seed one year, God forbid, he'd have a massive decision on his hands. But he also brought up something to you and I when we had him on last week about the leverage that could turn this thing into a whole nother level of dirtiness. You were the overall top pick in 97 going into the draft. I know this is a hypothetical, but do you believe that with this expanded playoff, now you could have a team that's seeded, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What if you have a future first-round lock on one of those teams? Do you ever anticipate a world where you could get an opt-out of a playoff team? We've had them at opt-outs that aren't a part of the playoff, big bowl games. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, guys that opted out of a Rose Bowl because it wasn't part of a playoff. But now with this expansion, would you ever see a place where that could happen?
Yeah, I could see that, to be honest with you. I think if you're, a 6 or later seed, that could happen. But then the scary part, and we just talked about NIL a little bit, you're going to have guys negotiating with universities to play in that game at some point. Somebody's going to say, all right, if you guys want me to play and I'm not going to opt out, then you guys going to have to pay me X million of dollars to play in this playoff. I think that's the scary part that we're probably going to head into, where guys are going to negotiate their opt-out terms, right? So financially, and I think that's one of the things that they got to be a little leery about. But it's still the nature of football. I think people kind of know who the top teams are, although it'll be fun. But you got to look at, I think guys will opt out to answer your question in short. I think that'll be the nature of kind of football and what guys are doing in this day and age. And when you look at the schedule, if you actually make it to the championship, you're almost playing the NFL schedule, right? So how are they going to compensate some of these guys for playing an additional 3 or 4 games to make it to the championship? So that's a whole nother deal in itself, just the wear and tear on a young kid's body.
You heard him.
Give me some more.
And not only give me some more, because, listen, it's all bundled into their deal. Most of the big-time players, like he would have been, like the guys are now at Ohio State, their deals are exorbitant anyway. Like, it's all bundled in, whether you're playing in a playoff game or not. But nothing would stop them other than their own integrity or teammates or this. I'm not going to leverage my school to give me more money, and if they don't, I'm going to hold them hostage that I may not play in a playoff game. Like, I don't see that ever happening at an Ohio State. I should probably say never. Not say never, but I don't. It feels, if you're playing for a championship, then whatever you got paid, whatever your NIL stuff is, only can be bonused by playing well in those games, unless you're done, but then you're going to the NFL. But to hear him say that some of these guys might say, yeah, I need another $100,000 to play in this game. If I don't get it, I'm not playing.
$100,000 a game.
Or more or less or whatever.
Won't surprise me. It won't surprise me because this is just the world we're living in. And now these players know the power and the leverage that they have.
What a reputation that would be. Can you imagine being a star player at Ohio State and being a 4 seed and then saying, I need more, I'm not playing?
If it leads to a natty, I don't think a lot of people would care. I really don't.
So you're saying that it would be almost even not a bluff, but asking for it because you know you can get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because yeah, absolutely. And I think, I don't know for a fact, but I think programs would bend the knee because you're not going to want to remove an elite player from this. Exactly.
But can you imagine the public outcry in a program as branded as massive as Ohio State if that leak that some kid who was a leader on this team or a big-time star said he's asking for another couple $100,000 or he's not playing?
We're already in deep waters with this.
I know, but I think public opinion would be, I don't know, you would almost forget that dude. Like, it would be so bad for a kid to play that card if he's already getting paid big money.
All I'll say is it's not going to surprise me if that happens. It may not be here.
Yeah.
But somewhere around look at what we're talking about with the UNLV situation. I didn't see that coming. And it's just this window of time that we're in with college football is presenting some of these wacky scenarios for us.
But he's not leveraging UNLV. He's saying that they're not delivering on what they promised. He wasn't asking for more, it sounds like.
No, but
he's
I'm just saying
what was promised.
The situation as a whole was never on my bingo card.
I've always left room for this to keep leveling in a weird way.
I'm with you.
And Orlando Pace really put it into almost in a weird level for me of where it could go. All right, we'll come back. Pre-snap reads next. And Matty, 2-time All-Pro. Has he hit his ceiling? One analyst says yes. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Are Men and Bone stupid in real life? Yes. Yes, they are. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Breaking the gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. When it comes to being a Newman Roofing customer, you can trust they're always going to put your needs first. They're going to give you the white glove treatment so you feel confident you're making the best decision. So don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. The fall deals at Germain Honda of Dublin are beautiful. The 24 Civic LX, only $249 a month for 36 months. The 24 Accord LX, only $279 a month for 36 months. With 10,000 miles a year on the lease, $34.99 cash cap reduction, payments plus tax, tag, and document fee, and away you go. How about 0.9% up to 36 months on the 24 Prologue, the first all-electric SUV from Honda. For the best deal in town, Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community, except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station, except Bo. The Fan.
Hello, I am a serious announcer hired to deliver a serious announcement. Get an Apex Pros winter tune-up for your furnace right now for only $29. Notice we are simply giving you the facts. Just $29 to make sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming Ohio winter. We know how you enjoy our usual fun and funny commercials. Hello? Beg pardon? Well, I see no reason to bring my mother into this. Good day to you, sir. Where was I? Oh, yes. A $29 tune-up will make sure your furnace runs safely and warmly all winter. That's serious. I'm serious. That's why we're not doing the usual that you've come to expect from Apex Pros. None of this or this nonsense. $29 for a furnace tune-up from Apex Pros. The pros who knows? Knows? Is that really how you say it? The pros who...
Apex Pros, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
After 31 years in Washington, just how much has Sherrod Brown changed? When he first wanted our vote, he said this.
My allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
To Ohio? Sherrod Brown voted for amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants, and he voted to give them taxpayer-funded benefits, like free health care to illegals who get amnesty, Social Security checks, COVID relief checks, all to be paid for by you. And Sherrod Brown's open border policies have led to more fentanyl, dangerous gangs, even terrorists pouring into our country. So when Sherrod Brown says this,
my allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
Don't listen to what Sherrod Brown says. Watch what he does. Because Sherrod Brown doesn't vote for Ohio anymore. He's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
78, cloudy with maybe a spot shower, but I think most of today is dry. Tomorrow, though, we have the remnants of Helene moving on in. Expect a half inch to an inch of much needed rainfall. It is windy. Winds could gust upwards of 35 miles per hour. Temperatures will be in the 70s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, a little Bet365 time.
Yes, sir, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. You know, I was sitting back last night, and I was like, AR and I should have just followed our gut and put everything we mentioned into one parlay.
Oh, my.
Because
unbelievable.
We sat here yesterday.
CB should have played the receipts.
And we went in on Caitlin Clark getting over 20 and a half points. She had 25. That was at plus 100.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to a little baseball chatter, and we talked about two guys on the same team. And you brought up Juan Soto hitting a dinger.
Yep, he was due.
And then at the end, I said, look, Aaron Judge is so locked in right now. He's hit 3 home runs in a row. I'm not going to do it again. Oh, he did it again.
Oh, what would this have paid us?
It would have been an unbelievable payday.
That would have been a 3-way feast that you and I could have taken the next month off.
Would have been incredible. But, hey, you know what? You snooze, you lose. No risk it. No biscuit. So tonight I'm looking at Malik Neighbors. I'm looking at Malik Neighbors in this Dallas Cowboys and Giants game. He's got an anytime touchdown juice of plus 137 right now. So I'm going to go in on that, and I'm going to go in on his teammate Devin Singletary getting in the box. So give me plus 105 for Devin Singletary and plus 137 for Malik Neighbors from LSU.
All right, I'm going to ride a statistical nugget here and a play that's hitting like 30 straight games, and that's Rico Dowdle will have over 9.5 touches, attempts rather. And so I guess he's gone over this line in 30 straight games versus the the Cowboys RB1 has gone over 9.5 attempts in 30 straight games.
Because they've just been beating their you-know-what.
So, but I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to just take it nice and easy there. And Uncle Rico, give me at least 10 attempts or more.
Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
By the way, if it doesn't happen, it would break a 15-year streak that the Cowboys RB1 did not have at least 10 attempts against the New York Giants.
I like that call tonight.
I mean, knowing me, streak will break.
Rothman and Ice curse?
I don't know, man. We spoke it into existence yesterday. Really it was pretty damn strong, especially on the home run calls, because you know that's can be very
gimmicky.
lucky. Yeah.
Very fickle.
Nailed them all.
Very fickle.
All right, we move along. So this guy's pretty polarizing. I'm talking about the player. and it's Jalen Hurts. And I feel like through 3 games, he's completing 70% of his passes. He does have 4 picks. Not great. He's been sacked 7 times. But he's throwing the ball from decent yards, and he doesn't have A.J. Brown right now, and he won't have Devontae Smith. Dan Orlovsky, the NFL analyst on ESPN, talked about Jalen Hurts, a 2-time All-Pro, perhaps already having bumped his head on his own ceiling.
I think we've seen the best of Jalen Hurts. Yes, I think that's fair to say.
When you say yes, the version that led them to the Super Bowl or the version after that?
I think the version that led him to the Super Bowl, that 2022 season and playoff stretch, that's the high.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to recapture that. 1, because of the style of the offense. 2, because we saw this just rocket-like improvement. And really, since that Super Bowl, and it is absolutely accurate to say, in that Super Bowl, he outperformed everybody on the field.
Including Patrick Mahomes.
But there hasn't been the improvement since then. He's holding on to the football for such a long time. And that's a problem at quarterback. When you hold it in this league, it usually spells poor play.
He's not horribly wrong on this. I like him as a player. I think they had to protect his knee a little more with these tush pushes and with no brother Kelsey up there leading the way. They have Barkley now they can lean on. Matty, it just seems a little off with Jalen. He's a heck of an athlete. And when they needed him to run last week, he ran and tried to save everything. And for the last couple of weeks, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what he's really trying to tell us. Is he telling us that, like, they were trying to push him, meaning we've already seen his best and there's no way he will get back to that?
Yeah, I think that's where he's at. I think that's where he's at.
Boy, I think the coaching and the discombobulation of this team, I think it's affected him.
No, I think that's a really good point that you brought up there because he's had to deal with a lot of different offensive coordinator changes and all those things over the last couple of years. And coming into this year, new offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore. And so I never thought in my mind that Jalen would enter that top 5 conversation as a quarterback in the league, but I've always thought he could be in the top 10. And so the problem is what Dan was talking about is he set the bar so high against the guy in the game. And when you go down that road, unfortunately, that's an expectation for people because they saw you perform in what should be the biggest game in your life and the toughest environment in the Super Bowl with all the pressure and all that stuff. And since then, it's just been okay. It's been inconsistent. But to be fair to him, just talking about this season, I mean, A.J. Brown hasn't played in a couple weeks. Now he's going into another situation this week to where what's going to be around him is going to be maybe a unit that's lackluster on paper as far as weaponry goes. So a lot of people aren't going to want to hear that because of the contract that he got. But I do think he has taken a bit of a dip with his play and production. You just got to remind some folks what he's capable of because he is talented.
That's it. So when I hear somebody say, he's holding on to the ball too long, it's very possible that he is. But on the other side, all you heard about Jalen Hurts coming in was he doesn't have patience. He doesn't allow his guys' routes to develop and all that. That's you can't win for losing.
Somebody's opinion. That's just one person's opinion. I still think he's a good quarterback. You know what else is good? It's the Columbus Men's Clinic because it is the largest and most experienced men's health practice in Columbus. Did you know that their patients average 3 failures with other places before coming to the Columbus Men's Clinic? If you've been waiting to treat your low T or ED, or maybe you had a bad experience with yet another clinic that opened quickly and closed, it's time to get in there and move forward with your sex life, your career, and your gym goals. They specialize in seeing guys who think they're out of luck regain hope that they can be successful in the bedroom and beyond. Seriously, go see the team that for 10 years has been number 1 in Ohio for men's health. Stop thinking about it and get in there. Call 614-300-7400. That's 614-300-7400, or go online to columbusmensclinic.com to book an appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
Gold Jacket Thursday up next. I love these stories. From undrafted, unknown, to Pro Football Hall of Famer. How'd he do it? Find out next from Emmitt Thomas, the great former chief, on Rothman and Ice, 97.1 The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Ohio Basement Authority. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at ohiobasementauthority.com.
At Byers Auto, we've been football fans since 1897, back when tailgates had actual tails. Our legacy of supporting our local team is as strong as our commitment to providing exceptional vehicles. While we're known for our new cars, we also offer a variety of pre-owned vehicles that meet our rigorous standards. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and budget. Visit us in person or shop online at byersauto.com. Come see why it's better to buy at Byers.
With so much happening every day,
ABC6 News is on your side, helping you understand the events that impact your community.
Do you believe Columbus City Schools is in a PR crisis?
Central Ohio's most experienced team of reporters, persistent in getting answers to the questions you're asking.
Are you worried about how people are going to react?
And when you need us, ABC6 News is on your side, finding solutions.
6 on your side, they're the ones willing to answer the phone.
You can count on ABC6 News to be on your side.
ABC Tonight is a night of major drama.
911, what's your emergency?
First, the 911 premiere event begins. Be NATO.
That truck was hauling 22 million killer bees.
Oh my God.
Then it's Dr. Odyssey, the splashy new drama set on a luxury cruise ship.
It's your job to keep everyone alive. She's in VFib clear. You're going to be okay.
911 season premiere and Dr. Odyssey series premiere, followed by Grey's Anatomy.
Tonight, starting at 8 on ABC6.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box, biatch.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
That's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
Hi, this is Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. As a local family-owned business, we understand the importance of celebrating the ones we love. Stop in to find the perfect gift or check us out online at worthingtonjewelers.com.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
Attention Ohio pizza restaurant owners. Tired of glitchy point-of-sale systems slowing you down? Meet Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. With reliable hardware, an easy-to-use system, and 24/7 customer support, Hunger Rush speeds up your operations and boosts repeat orders by up to 10%. This is the restaurant point-of-sale built for pizza. Easily manage your drivers, easily take orders online, easily train your staff in minutes, and easily make modifications. Need to talk to a real person? That's easy too. Top Ohio pizzerias are winning with Hunger Rush. Solutions to help you streamline service, optimize workflows, and maximize profits. Join the thousands of successful restaurants transforming their operations with Hunger Rush for $0 down and $0 a month. Tools for menu management, marketing, customer engagement, and increased upsells, all in one simple platform. That's Hunger Rush, Ohio's favorite pizza POS. Schedule your free no-obligation demo at ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com. ohiopos.com.
Shop new dollar deals at Meijer. $1 is all you need when you shop hundreds of participating items, like select bell peppers, Swanson broth, or Campbell soup, and 1.25 liters of Coca-Cola or Pepsi products, all just $1 each. That's it. Pay just $1 on select items with Meijer dollar deals for a limited time. Limit 10 per item. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Gold Jacket Thursday.
All right, welcome back into Rothman and Ice. It's a Gold Jacket Thursday. And I'll tell you what, if this man played today, he would be what they call a lockdown corner. One of the best of his era, owns the Kansas City Chiefs all-time interception record with 58, which I believe places him 12th on the all-time list. And he even had one of those picks in a Super Bowl win against my Vikes. He's back in Canton this week for his well-deserved residency at the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a Hall of Famer, Emmitt Thomas. Emmitt, thanks for being here. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling real good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You know, I went back and I saw, this is amazing to me. You only played 1 year of high school football. How in the world did you develop the skills to eventually become a Hall of Famer?
I think baseball was a thing that really helped me, and working in the cotton fields and in watermelon patches, and gave me some skills that enhanced me to become a better football player and athlete.
That's good stuff. Emmitt, I wanted to ask you about your coaching career, because you are obviously an elite player, but talk about that experience going from one of the best players on defense to being a coach and coaching for a long time around football. What was that like for you?
Very exciting. And, a lot of times when professional athletes are asked to retire, you can't get it out of your system. And to me, the coaching in college and high school was a great sedative for me.
What was the feeling like of winning the Super Bowl as a player versus winning one as a coach? Did it feel the same or different?
It feels different because as a player, it's a hands-on situation. As a coach, you're waiting for somebody to institute what you've taught them over the years or over the practice time to do certain things. But I think being as a player and being in the arena, I think there's nothing better.
What made those teams special in your opinion? What led to the success? When you look back at your time as a player and winning the ultimate prize as a team, what do you think really made you guys special?
I think we had some leaders, great leaders. Lynn Dawson, who's from Alliance, Ohio, was our quarterback. We had Buck Buchanan, Bobby Bell. On the defensive side, I was a youngster coming in and reaped the harvest. But just playing and competing was a thing that they instituted in all of us. And we had Hank Stram, our head coach, was a stickler for being precise, being in shape, and it came down to us.
Emmitt Thomas with us, the Pro Football Hall of Famer, defensive back, Kansas City Chiefs. Let's talk about Hank Stram going into that Super Bowl IV against the Vikings. I believe you were a big underdog, probably a 2-touchdown underdog. Do you remember what Hank said or what the message was in the preparation to try to beat the heavily favored Vikings back in New Orleans way back Super Bowl IV in 1970?
Well, we always had a kind of feeling about that because we lost the first Super Bowl of the World Championship to Green Bay when I was a rookie to the Green Bay Packers. And we always thought we were going back, and it took us another 3 or 4 years before we got back. And Hank locked us all down, no visitors or anything that week, and we worked hard. We know we were bigger and faster. They were the most seasoned team. But we had Lynn Dawson, Bobby Bell, Otis Taylor, Buck Buchanan, and Willie Lanier. And we played well. And they were a good football team, but we were faster and bigger.
Wow. Because they were what do you remember about leading up to that? Because they were the Purple People Eaters. That was the defense that was considered the most intimidating in the NFL at that time, with Gary Larson and Alan Page and Carl Eller, Jim Marshall from right here. That secondary with Bobby Bryant and Paul Krause. That was the defense. You guys, did you take that as a challenge? What do you remember hearing about the Purple People Eaters before that game?
The same thing that you're saying, but the thing that we took was that we had lost to Green Bay in the first Super Bowl, and then the Raiders lost the second one, and the Jets won the third, and we thought it was our time to win one, and we were fortunate enough to go in there and get a win in New Orleans.
I want to ask you specifically about the position that you played and what it takes to be an elite cornerback and an elite defensive back. Walk us through that and some of the important traits you think an elite cornerback or defensive back needs to have.
I think being in shape and details, good film study, and a great pass rush. Nothing can help you more than a big-time pass rush, and be detailed and watch your techniques.
He's Emmitt Thomas, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and he's in Canton this weekend where he will meet and greet fans. You were undrafted from a small college of Bishop in Texas. How did you gain the attention of the pros?
I think I gained the attention of the pros. At that particular time, it was a Black Southwest Conference in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and there were 4 receivers in that conference. Otis Taylor from Prairie View, Texas. We had Frank Pitts from Southern University and Gloucester Richardson from Jackson State. And all those guys got drafted. And when we were playing, and we were a small school, and we were playing Prairie View, they were undefeated that year. And the Chiefs were interested in Otis Taylor, and they came in our game. And at that particular, I had a great game against Otis. They beat us by 6 points. He scored 1 touchdown. I think I had 2 picks. And the owner told me, one of the scouts told me, we may not draft you, but we will be back to sign you as a free agent. But them chasing Otis Taylor was the reason I think I was able to get a look.
Wow.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff right there. Emmitt, who was a guy or two that really gained your respect when you went up against him throughout your time in the NFL? An offensive player that may have challenged you a little bit, but when you guys walked away, or you walked away from that game, you said, I respect what he does.
I don't want to get real religious, but the guy that baptized me into the league was Lance Always, the wide receiver. He beat me for the first touchdown I ever gave up when we were playing the Chargers as a rookie. But Paul Warfield was one of them.
Yeah, former Buckeye, Paul Warfield, Miami Dolphin.
Right. He had several others, but he was the main one that and Biletnikoff from the Raiders was the other. So Biletnikoff, Paul Warfield, and Lance Always, they were the ones that really baptized me into the league.
13 seasons at corner for the Kansas City Chiefs, 1966 to 1978. Emmitt Thomas, and while he's with the Chiefs, he led the league in interceptions not once but twice. And he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. You went on to a great coaching career. You even spent a little time with my Vikings many years ago. And I think Randy Moss and Chris Carter were the receivers when you were there. How in the world would you have thought about covering Randy Moss if you were a player?
A lot of help. You had to double him up, had to put 2 people up there.
That must have been a cool time, being able to coach Chris Carter and Randy Moss.
But I was on the defensive side then, so I was watching them practice and watching them beat up on other people. So
pretty cool.
But I was there for 2 years.
Emmitt, I wonder if you have a take on the current Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in this era of Kansas City and what they're doing and forming a dynasty right before our eyes. What are your thoughts on the team that you used to play for and what they're doing right now?
I think Pat Mahomes is the key, the ace to the whole equation. And then his staff are very strategically in football. But I think the players are the ones that really make the drink. And I think Patrick Mahomes is doing a great job in leading that football team. Right now they're not playing at their best, but they're playing well enough to still get a win. And I'm so happy for them because after we had a small run as a player, it's almost 20 years before Kansas City really got back into the mix. And for them to be able to land Pat and get those athletes and things, and they're able to stay healthy, and they're doing a good job of what no one has done before in that profession.
Very nice. What a visit here. You can talk with Emmitt Thomas at the Hall of Fame. He'll be greeting fans tomorrow, 9:30 to 10 in the morning. Of course, we'll be back there on Saturday as well, 10 to 10:30 as a greeter at the Hall of Fame. He'll be in the Super Bowl Museum as well, and it's just going to be an outstanding time. I'm glad you're back there. You deserve this time, and I hope the fans come up and greet you. We'll send them your way, Emmitt. Be well, and thanks for this visit.
Thanks for having me.
You got it. Emmitt Thomas, undrafted free agent, Little Bishop College in Dallas, and excelled for the Chiefs for the next 13 years, retired in the late 70s as their all-time leading interceptor.
Time to give away right now a $40 gift card to Ohio Malts, 614-821-9710 is CB's hotline number. You got the question for the folks?
Yeah, I
today?
do.
What do you got?
Where was Maddie at 1:30 in the morning this morning?
Here we go.
He was in a certain location. Tell CB that, and you'll win it all. We'll come back with Tell the Truth next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
At Kroger Pharmacy, CARE is making it easy to get vaccinated. CARE is helping you stay protected from flu, COVID, and RSV. Seasonal vaccines are available 7 days a week with evening hours. CARE is giving you a shot at staying healthy this season. Walk in whenever is best and get multiple vaccines in one visit at your local Kroger Pharmacy. So come and get the protection you need while protecting those around you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Visit Kroger.com/vaccines for more. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See site for details.
We are Ortho Alliance. Together, we deliver the most experienced orthopedic care near you and throughout Central Ohio. Together, we provide expert care when you need it with same-day and next-day appointments. We put our patients' care first, from physical therapy to the most challenging joint replacement surgeries. We are JIS Orthopedics, Ortho Neuro, Orthopedic Associates of Zanesville, Orthopedic Foot and Ankle Center, and Orthopedic Specialists in Sports Medicine. And we are better together. Visit orthoalliance.com or call 877-WE-ARE-OA.
Barely 5 hours a week. It's how much time most of us spend outdoors. Not nearly enough time getting lost in canopies of breathtaking fall colors. Brilliant hues extending all across America's third most forested state. We could all use a little more time outdoors, soothing mind, body, and spirit in West Virginia. Plan your fall getaway at wvtourism.com.
Looking for your next Subaru? At Byers Airport Subaru, we give you options from start to finish. Browse and shop entirely online from the comfort of your home at columbussubaru.com or stop by and visit one of our friendly brand specialists just by the airport.
Right now, you can get the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester for 3.9% for up to 48 months.
Whether you prefer to click or come in, we've got you covered. Your journey starts at Byers Airport Subaru. Come see why it's better to buy at Byers.
Subject to credit approval. Financing offer term up to 48 months on 2025 Subaru Forester. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. See dealer for details. Offer ends 9/30/24.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the sportsbook, the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino. Yes, they've changed the name.
It is better than ever, but they're still going to have your favorite teams on the biggest screens. You could place your bets, grab some wings and an ice-cold pint, and even hang out with us.
We're going to be there broadcasting live from 3 to 6, Friday, September 27th. And we've got tickets to give away, so come and be with us and hug us.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more Pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
You want Jersey Mike's signature sub, you get a number 13 original Italian. You want a dramatic radio idea? You get me. Like this. I'm the 7th-string quarterback and the other 6 quarterbacks go down. The coach yells, DeVito, you're in. The crowd is worried until I throw a touchdown. But the other team is celebrating. Apparently, I threw the Jersey Mike's number 13 original Italian I was eating on the sidelines. Whoops. The number 13 original Italian, Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hello, I am a serious announcer hired to deliver a serious announcement. Get an Apex Pros winter tune-up for your furnace right now for only $29. Notice we are simply giving you the facts. Just $29 to make sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming Ohio winter. We know how you enjoy our usual fun and funny commercials. Hello? Beg pardon? Well, I see no reason to bring my mother into this. Good day to you, sir. Where was I? Oh, yes. A $29 tune-up will make sure your furnace runs safely and warmly all winter. That's serious. I'm serious. That's why we're not doing the usual that you've come to expect from Apex Pros. None of this or this nonsense. $29 for a furnace tune-up from Apex Pros. The pros who knows? Knows? Is that really how you say it? The pros who...
Apex Pros, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, CB, who knew that Maddie was hanging out in the sauna?
All right, so
1:30?
Unfortunately, the first answer was incorrect. We got a spa response, just not close enough. But the correct answer, and Dwayne from Heath, he knew it was the sauna.
Shout out to you, Dwayne. I'm jealous of your name. I love my name.
Dwayne Hayes.
But you know, I've always wanted to be Dwayne Hayes. Dwayne, appreciate you, man. Enjoy the Mulch gift card.
All right.
Would you have given Matt, if you were answering the phones, would you have given it to the first guy, Spa?
I
probably would have.
Yeah, I think I would have been.
Really?
Yeah, I would have been.
Well, okay, because you've been pretty tough on me before in my leniency on some answers. So
I think you made the right call.
I think you made the right call because somebody knew it exactly. I guess if nobody knew it, then I would have probably felt bad for not giving it to the guy with spa.
That's fair, I guess.
Job.
But at the same time, if you're going to the spa, you're getting like a manicure, pedicure.
Mani and
versus,
pedi?
Yeah, but versus the sauna, you're sweating out all the toxins you got in your body.
Absolutely. You go get a mani and pedi, you throw in that silk robe, CB, and you drink some champagne.
Silk.
Yeah, man. You drink some champagne. Little cucumbers on your eyelids. I may be speaking from experience.
I love that for you. All right, let's start with a pretty simple one here. Tell the truth. Which team needs the win this weekend more? Is it Georgia or Alabama?
It's a great question. I'm going to remix it a little bit. I'm not going to remix your question, but I'm going to give you an answer that may not be direct. I think Kalen DeBoer needs this game more. Because I think if you're Kalen DeBoer, you want to set the tone following Little Nicky that you can win these big games. We know Kirby Smart, what he's about and what that program is about. So I'm going to go with Alabama and Kalen DeBoer. You're stepping into the shoes. They always say you never want to be the guy after the guy. You want to be the guy that follows the guy. Something like that. You catch my drift.
I caught your drift.
I'm going with Alabama, AR.
I think it's the right answer. Georgia can lose this game and still make the playoff. But Bama, and I'm looking at it maybe from more of a micro than you are. I know you're looking more program, big picture.
Yeah.
But if I look at it just in a vacuum for this year, Georgia loses this game, they still make the playoff in my mind. Now, they still have to go to Texas. They got to play Ole Miss. They got to play Tennessee. It could get real weird early for Georgia if they lose. But if Bama loses this game and they got to go to Tennessee and go to Oklahoma and go to LSU, then all of a sudden you feel like they've only got that they might have to win two of those three to get in. Now, Bama probably holds the ultimate tiebreaker if they have three losses. If there is going to be a three-loss team in this playoff, it would probably be them. And it was a good thing that, you know, they smoked Wisconsin, because on paper before the season, I thought that could get weird in Madison. But I think we go with the right answer, which is Bama. I think Georgia has enough that they could rebound if they lose this game. Bama, it might send them down a weird road.
Roll damn tide.
The truth? It's overrated.
All right, Derrick Rose, he announced his retirement from the NBA after 16 seasons. Let's play a little what if with Rose's career. Tell the truth. What would have happened, or what accomplishments would Rose have added to his resume if he didn't suffer those knee injuries?
I mean, the sky was the limit. The kid won an MVP before his prime. That doesn't happen very often. I think he won an MVP at 22 or 23. I think they're a consistent playoff team, and they would struggle to beat LeBron. I think that's real. I think that he becomes an MVP candidate, all-NBA team, all-star game all the time. But I don't know if those Bulls teams would ever get over the hump of LeBron in the East, unfortunately. Now, I think they were up 2-1 on the Cavs. Was that in 2015? I'd have to go back. Were they up 2-1? LeBron makes that buzzer beater. Somebody called a timeout. It was a no-call timeout call. That could have changed everything. The fact that I have to relive this is interesting. I think a healthy D. Rose with Jimmy Butler, consistent playoff team, and he's an MVP candidate every year.
He would have won another MVP. He was so explosive, so electric, just off the bounce. You could not stay in front of the man. It's really unfortunate. He was kind of Ja Morant before Ja Morant for me. I think when you look at Ja Morant and how he plays now as a point guard, it reminds me a lot of D. Rose. Really fun career, even going back to his years at Memphis in college. The dude was just an absolute bucket. So CBS said he would have won another MVP.
The truth shall set you free.
If you missed NFL picks, if you missed Gold Jacket Thursday with Emmitt Thomas, Kansas City Chief Hall of Famer, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3, we'll be waiting for you. Subscribe to the Rothman and Ice podcast as well. Coming up on Common Man and Tebow, Adam Rittenberg joined at 3:34. And Mike, he sits through watching another painful outing from his Chicago White Sox.
And on the Buckeye Show tonight with Tim Hall and Tyvis, Andy Katzenmoyer is going to come in studio. So the Big Cat will be here discussing Ohio State football and college football. So don't miss that. All you have to do is keep it locked here. You and I will come back on a Football Friday. We'll have tons to do then. So make sure you join us. Just keep it locked here every day, all day on The Fan. Rothman and Ice on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan. This is a Fan Action Update.
We inch closer to the college football weekend. Last time Alabama was a home underdog was in 2007, the same year their current leading wide receiver was born. They're a 2.5-point dog to Georgia Saturday. Ohio State opens up Big Ten play on the road as a 23.5-point favorite over Michigan State. The total on that game Saturday is 48.5. For your action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Order like a champ at Raising Cane's. With tailgates of hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade, you can guarantee victory for every game day meal. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Ben Sadler, Assistant Vice President, Commercial Lending, on what makes First Bank of Central Ohio successful.
What we do as a community bank is really, listening to, that company, finding the solutions that best need their business and is not just a universal product that you could get anywhere else.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns for its biggest year yet. For the first time with Metallica. 2 nights, 2 different set lists, no repeat weekend. Plus exclusive Metallica experiences with Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, and over 100 more bands to be announced. 4 days, May 8th to the 11th at historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Select passes on sale now at sonictemplefestival.com.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Hi, this is Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. As a local family-owned business, we understand the importance of celebrating the ones we love. Stop in to find the perfect gift or check us out online at worthingtonjewelers.com.
Scott from the Cleveland area has coached girls basketball and supported his granddaughter's athletic pursuits.
My granddaughters have worked hard to excel in sports. It's tough enough. So the idea that Sherrod Brown voted to allow transgender biological men to compete in girls' sports, it's unfair and dangerous. And introducing a bill to allow biological men in girls' locker rooms? Biological men to shower in my granddaughter's locker room? No way. I worry about the safety of my family constantly. Now I have to worry about Sherrod Brown's crazy liberal ideas. I thought Sherrod Brown was on my side, but he's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown has let Ohio down. Now he's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadership